What up, y'all? It's your boy Jimmy Dukes. Welcome back to another season of the Jimmy Dukes Gaming Podcast. We took a break and we were working on other projects here on the channel, but I wanted to loop it back around for 2023. If you guys didn't know, I really wanted to push this podcast thing, and I was very fortunate to meet some cool ass people last year that we had for Who Is series, and we had these two gentlemen here. And one of the first episodes that I wanted to bring out for you guys is as far as with the business side, when it comes to content creation, these guys are going towards something that I'm looking into. And I thought it was a perfect opportunity to bring them on here and talk about their experiences and the business sense when it comes to an LLC. So, just first, real quick, we got Mr. Black Phoenix here. I met him last year at the meetup. He was one of the people that sets that up. Great guy here on Facebook and other platforms as well. And then, of course, my boy Reef as well. We had him on the podcast last year. Random raid became a friendship for over a year and a half, almost two now. So thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you.
From a random raid, just like that.
Random raid, man.
You raided me, man. You raided me, bro. Ever since then, we've been tight.
Yeah, random raid, man, and just kept in touch with him and been cool like that ever since. But let's just get into the conversation, man. I wanted to bring these guys on, and the topic of this podcast is what is an LLC, and then do you need it as a content creator? These two gentlemen have LLCs and they use them in different ways, so it's kind of cool that I'll be able to pick their brain as far as why they needed it and how they're going to utilize that LLC title. So going in first, what an LLC is for a lot of people that don't know, and just keep in mind, we're not business professionals, we're not giving you expertise advice. This is just going based off their personal experiences and what's been working for them or not working for them, and what they would say do or not do. Okay, so just don't hold us, hold it against us. So I might need an LLC for this podcast just in case.
For comment down below,
right?
For that reason,
liability issues. But yeah, pretty much LLC is a limited liability company. It's a business structure that offers limited liability protection and pass through taxation as corporations. The LLC legally exists as a separate entity from its owners. So pretty much, if anything happens to these gentlemen when it comes to content creation, if they get sent after for any being sued or anything, none of their personal stuff will be affected. And so my first question to you, Reef, is: do you need an LLC as a content creator, in your opinion?
Absolutely not. You don't need one. You can be the best independent, person you want to be on the platform. You don't necessarily need one. I recommend it's good to have though, for like what you just said, that reason there. We've seen in the past where a famous TikTok user said something about Cardi B, and she got sued for slander. She didn't have an LLC, so it really attacked her personal assets. So for things like that,
I did
get the company sued, not you.
Yeah. What about you, Phoenix? Do you think you need one? Obviously, you have one, but
yeah, I agree with Reef. It's both, but it's also a yes and a no. Like, I feel like if you're just starting out, like if you want to be a streamer, you don't really have to go and get an LLC and just do all that stuff like that. But I feel like if you get a little bit, you grow a little bit more and get a little bit more bigger, I feel like you wouldn't need an LLC just to, like you said, protect yourself. Also, just another thing about the LLC is like it's like your own brand as well too. So like my boy Caught Up in Gaming, he got his Facebook gaming page like taken down. Like somebody else said, "Oh, we own this," and there's nothing he could do about it. But if he had his his LLC and stuff like that, he could just be like, "No, I literally own Caught Up in Gaming." So
damn.
Wow.
So after that, like also shout outs to Black Line Gamers. He had an LLC for a long time, and he's been telling a good couple of people of us to get one and stuff like that because of reasons like that, or just so nobody can really mess with your money, or anything like that.
That makes sense. I like how you guys both said that. Like, you don't need one, but as you go more into this, and this is exactly why I love talking to you guys, man. And I was talking to Reef about we started is, if you guys are out there watching this or listening, when you start networking with people, being transparent and being upfront with people and building a good relationship is good, because I could have these conversations with these guys. how hard would it be for me to reach out to somebody that I have no idea about, that I know that does something? But now that I know these guys and I have a good relationship with them, I could have conversations with them. So, anybody who's out there that has a problem with networking and stuff, it's not always about, hey, I'm in somebody's stream, I need this from them, I need that. But being respectful and supporting each other from afar is a good way to have a good working relationship with these people. And I appreciate you guys. Every time I've asked anything of you guys said yes, and vice versa. So it's awesome, because I want to do this. I really want to push it a little bit more, be taken more seriously, and you guys both said that. So, and for the reasons of the LLC, Phoenix, what made you want to open the LLC? In your opinion, what did you want to open it for?
Once again, going to Black Lion Gamers. He told me a lot of stuff about the LLC, protect yourself, but most importantly, you can pretty much write off anything, really. I mean, you can technically write off stuff now without an LLC, because I'm learning that now as I'm doing my taxes. And I this year of 2023, I just got my LLC, so I'm still doing my taxes now, but from 2022, and learning oh, I could do this, get this as a write-off, that as a write-off. And I feel like when you get an LLC, definitely get a business account, and then you got everything right there that you can go on and do your taxes and stuff, and do a whole bunch of write-offs and stuff like that. So I feel like that is a reason why to open one, to get one.
Yeah. And I because you're using it more for the gaming thing. So that's a perfect segue over here for Reef. Reef opened it for a different reason. So why did you open an LLC, Reef?
I wanted to have my brand be taken more serious, and I felt like I needed that, that leverage to be able to say, yo, this is my business, this is my company. And to echo off of what Phoenix just said, it's like the write-off thing was a big one. I ain't gonna lie, that's probably one of the best benefits. I know we're gonna get to that later, but I did want to be taken more seriously, moving forward with it, because I didn't want to just say, hey, I sell t-shirts. Because anybody can say that. I wanted to have that business, that backing behind me, and it's so many benefits. I can't wait to get into that, but it's so many things. This is my first year actually having it, officially in December of last year was my official first year, and this is my first year doing my taxes for it, and it's been a lot of beautiful things with it. So I'm excited for this.
That's badass. See, and that's the whole, and I like hearing that, because me, I did my taxes the year before the first time as a content creator. I did it through TurboTax, which was great by there. If you guys don't know, they both had said it, guys. As long as you're getting a paycheck from Facebook, as long as you're not doing OD on trying to tax off everything, it's gonna balance out to where you might not make any money, but you can claim all your stuff. And that's where I was last year. I was able to do my computer, my monitors. I didn't really make that much money, but TurboTax is for you being a freelance content creator, your chances of getting audited are 18%. So I was like, all right, cool.
It's low.
Just to echo off of Reef with the what he just said, having an LLC, bro, it just feels like you
big dick swinging
these streets
big
now.
dick swinging
It's like a cheat code, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's
you got your chest pumped out.
Well, that's good.
You have an LLC,
right? I bet you don't, little bitch ass, right?
But also with the tax thing, I know we're gonna get into that soon.
Yeah.
But, it's just so much stuff that I found out you can just write off, because people were saying oh, if you get DLC for a game, that's a tax write off. I'm like, what?
Yep.
I started.
Crazy. I was doing that last year too, and when Reef had opened up, remember I had asked you about it last year, Reef, because I was like, all right, so I looked into it, because I was I was making okay money. It's not like I'm making a living off it or anything, but enough to where it's a part-time job, right? So I was like, what can I claim? I can claim my computer, the games, things like that, legally, guys. It's not like I was trying to cheat the system or anything like that. So that is a big advantage. So you wanted to do it for the t-shirts, and you wanted, because Phoenix is going more into the whole gaming aspect, what I want to do, but just as far as the podcast thing. So what are your goals in your mind for the LLC now that you have it, Reef? You've already had it for about a year. What are your future goals with having that business? Hey man, I'm not just a guy that makes t-shirts. This is the effect, and I'm making clothing and XYZ.
My long-term goal with it is when I first initially got it, I just said I know I need to have one. You know, I'm about to start meeting new people and working with different businesses and vendors. I need to have one.
Mhm.
Now that I know what I know now, it's like I see why people have multiple LLCs, and I think this one is probably gonna be like a major stepping stone into more to come in the future. That way, I'm always protected, but it's also they're all building each other, if that makes sense. So now is the Effect LLC, but I see more coming from it as I learn more about how this corporation shit works and just like, okay, I want this, but I want this too, and I want to be in this. But it's all underneath different names, but it's all ultimately
Under the
me.
same umbrella.
Yeah, under the
Mhm.
same
Yeah.
umbrella. That way it just kind of branches off. So I'm not one dimensional with it.
Yeah.
So that's my main plan
So
for it.
you want to keep building off of there. What about you, Phoenix? Now that you have it, and I know you're starting to see what you can do with it. Like, what are your kind of your
Mhm.
plans now that you educated yourself enough? What are some of the things that you have in mind and goals with your LLC?
For me, unlike Reef, like I don't have like multiple things going on. I mean, I just got my streaming stuff and then like whatever content I post on YouTube and whatnot and Twitch or whatever and Facebook gaming. Um, my goal is just to pretty much to grow. Just this is just like um something to have in your arsenal of going forward. And as you grow, you have this under your umbrella, under your everything to take care of all your plans. So just want to grow, have this as my not a backup plan, but like just have it on me when I need it the most.
Yeah,
That's
So
big.
yeah,
like if people can't say that they're Black Phoenix 843 or they
yeah,
can't do this. I don't want to. It's almost like playing a game, and it's a story-based game where you level up and grow and this and that, and then you get hit with some stuff like data failure and stuff like that, and you
uh,
got to start all over.
uh.
Like I don't want none of that to happen. I just want to keep growing until I don't know, I finish the game or something
Right.
like that.
You got a
Unlock all
cloud
those,
storage.
Yeah.
unlock all those achievements and shit.
Yeah, and then and it's just sad that you got to start over from scratch
Yeah.
because of one little thing. So this is like some really good protection for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think that, and you guys both painted in a perfect way because Reef was like, "Well, I've had it for a year, and at first it was just to do this. Now I'm able to open, your eyes with that, and then with Phoenix, it's kind of like, all right, here's my stepping stone. Let me see where it leads, but at least I'm
Hmm.
here because I'm below the steps. So that's why I was so interested to find out that when Phoenix had posted, "Hey, I did this," I was like, perfect. Another person I could talk to because I want to be taken serious as far as a content creator too, and push my content in different avenues. I love streaming and playing games, but this podcasting I've been really enjoying, and I've been fortunate to have a good feedback. People that I reach out to have all said yes. So it's been awesome because I want to push this in different ways, and I think by having an LLC, in my opinion, will start at least bumping myself like, hey, he's taking himself serious and his business serious, and we're entrepreneurs. We're entrepreneurs. A lot of people forget that we're not just streamers. We're just not gamers.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, hey, some of us out here are trying to do a little bit more. I'm not trying to hate on anybody that plays for communities and networking and having fun. That is all badass. I know some badass streamers that do that and they have fun. But some of us go to the other way, like, all right, we do all that, but we want to do this, and make a living and push content out there and possibly get paid by some of these platforms to do stuff
Hmm.
for them. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's a badass. So what are some of the benefits, Phoenix, that you've already seen? You already talked about the tax thing a little bit. So what were some of these like, damn, I could take advantage of this right now? Let's do it.
Um, like I've just got my LLC in January. As we're recording this in March, so that's like 2 months ago. So I haven't really digged in and get a go through this and this, but as I'm like doing the taxes before the LLC and just like really focus on that because before even the year before that, where I was still streaming, but I never really filed for my taxes then because I was working at my normal job. And I just got my W-2 from them and did the taxes and moved on. But now since this is like my only like
Source
place
of
of
income.
income,
Okay.
yeah. Um I learned about the what was it 1099s or whatever it's called,
Mhm.
I think. Um, and learning like that and learning all the stuff that you can do write-offs and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now what the LSC has told me and taught me, I guess, anything I do, I'm keeping receipts.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
keeping this. I'm keeping whatever, just so when I do my write-offs, I got, I got everything to show. Like, hey, if you
Yeah.
come at me, this is what happened. This is it.
Yeah.
So any conventions I go to, like the
It's
meetup stuff,
yeah,
hotels.
that's bad. That was one thing that I last year. So last year I went to the meetup, so I'm
Yeah.
able to. So this year I'm gonna be able to claim it. That's a business
Yeah.
trip. That is a legitimate business
Mhm.
trip.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And I'll be able to do that. So I'm glad that you're saying all that kind of stuff. You could do it without an LLC, obviously,
Yeah.
but just knowing that that's just one of the pieces of thing. Like it doesn't cost much to have an LLC, right? From my understanding.
It's like 125.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all depends on your state too, as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
No,
with
it's
the
not like
state fees or
yeah,
whatever.
and even then you could claim that shit fee, right? Right once you get it,
I believe so.
right? So
It
that
is a startup of a
I
business.
never
so
thought about
yeah.
that, but I guess so. Yeah.
yeah. So you already seen some of the small benefits now that this is your first legit year as using this source of income. What about you, Reef? You talked about the t-shirt thing, and I know you've done some badass upgrades because of the LLC, and that's
Yes,
actually
sir.
made your product better.
So one of the key benefits, I love the internet because we get to share like our experiences and shit with each other, but sometimes things get misconstrued, and I'm thankful to go through some things personally, and I want to be able to share some of that too. One big misconception is the write-off thing. Um, from what I've seen, I can be dumb, so I can't speak for nobody else. When people say
Mhm.
they wrote off stuff, I thought it meant like you can just use the money and kind of like get it back on the back end type shit.
Mhm.
And from
Yeah.
what I've seen is when you're like, I have a full time job as well. So let's say I make 50K a year. If I got $20,000 worth of write offs for my business, that brings me down a tax bracket down to 30,000. So you know how like people always say, oh man, it's like I work and I owe every year, and then you got people who make the bare minimum and they seem to get $10,000 to $12,000 back.
Mm-hmm.
You put yourself back in that tax bracket essentially by the stuff that you're spending during the year. And another interesting thing I've seen is when we get loans, they're not taxed. So if you was to get a $10,000 loan and you spent that 10 grand on buying, I don't know, studio equipment or something like that, you can write off that $10,000 because it wasn't taxed technically, and that will knock your income down 10 grand. So with that, when I bought that expensive printer, this year I just found out like I was knocked down. Besides just the printer itself was ten thousands of dollars. But besides that, everything that I bought, when I seen what I actually made, I was like, dang, I've came all this far in life, and this is what my income looks like according to the IRS.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
now I'm looking at my refund, and I'm like, oh shit, I ain't see this in a long time.
Mhm.
So it's like those little benefits right there. When you get into a certain tax bracket, like let's say Jimmy's podcast blows up, and Jimmy's racking in like 100K a year. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy ain't gonna get nothing back taxes, like no more federal taxes. But this is the question you have to ask yourself. This is where the write-off still comes in at, because you're not getting money back, but it's about saving money.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's gonna have to pay, let's say, 7% of his 100,000 or something like that, which is what, like what,
70,
77,000, something like that.
yeah.
So instead of Jimmy paying back that 7 G's, what if he took that 7,000 and bought himself, I don't know, a brand new studio
Mhm.
instead? So you write it off, so you won't. You're gonna have to pay the IRS. They're gonna
Yeah.
get theirs.
Yeah.
But the
they gonna get
object
it
is to
somehow.
avoid. Where do you want to spend the money? Would you rather
Exactly.
spend it on yourself, or would you rather spend it giving it to IRS? Oh, I
Mhm.
know I'm gonna pay these motherfuckers $7,000. You know what? I'm gonna go buy me a studio instead with that 7 grand
Yeah.
and write it off. Boom.
Mhm.
Now they're gonna like, oh, well, Jimmy took a $7,000 loss. We're not gonna tax him for that. We're gonna
Yeah.
tax him for 93,000
Yep.
instead of 100,000. You know,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
just little things like that. Because I've had friends who have like CBD farms and stuff, and he bought a brand new Tahoe, and this is like the ultimate flex. I was like, dang, bro, why you got this nice Tahoe? It's just a write off.
It's a
I
work
was like,
truck. It's a work truck.
the fuck is that? It's a fucking Tahoe. Like
Right?
it's got rims on it and everything. It's like it's a write off because he didn't want to pay the IRS the money he would have spent on
Yeah.
the Tahoe.
Mhm.
So little things like that, like that's what I've been seeing. I'm like, oh shit. oh, this different.
Yeah.
Like this is different. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Reef
when
gonna
you
be my tax broker.
right, no shit.
No,
Because when
no.
we get those checks from Twitch or from Facebook, they don't take taxes, guys.
They
So
don't.
So that's why you guys don't understand is that as long as you're streaming, you're playing anything that you're using during the stream or whatever, you can write that off as long as you can show that you're getting income from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just say, "Hey, I'm claiming all this shit and 20 G's worth of shit," and you're not really, and you only made $100 from Twitch last year. That doesn't make sense.
Too.
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
Because this is more. I gotta ask a question. So, when you do a write-off, say like computers and stuff like that, you can only do it one time, or you can do it multiple years.
It depends, right, Reef?
I think it's for that year, that actual
Okay, when you
work
bought it?
year that you bought it.
And
I would love to go back before I had LLC and like all this shit.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately,
I think-
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, and somebody in the comments tell us or whatever in our streams, I think you could like tax some of it if it's like a big purchase and you have to do like maintenance on it or stuff or whatever. Like you could still kind of
like the maintenance. Okay.
yeah, you could still claim it and things like that. Because the first year I started, it was 2020. Then in 2020, I was able to do my PC, my desk, my monitors, and everything. And the amount of money that I got from Facebook and the amount of money I claimed as far as that balanced out.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, I didn't really make any money being a content creator, but I got all this shit that I didn't have to pay for, technically, taxes for. That it just balanced out. So I was able to upgrade my brand, my production, my videos, everything because of Facebook and because of the taxes. And for this year, now I'm like, all right, I can start taking trips. Now that I know I can claim a trip, that was one of the big reasons I was able to go down to Atlanta, and go meet Rief in Phoenix, because I was like, you know what, I can claim this. So I'll just have to front the money now. And then next year, I'll just claim it as a business trip. It was a legitimate business trip. I did podcasts. I have tickets. I have receipts of all the shit that I did. And I just put it up. And it just puts it, it puts it in the TurboTax. So I was like, wow. So when I was down there, Reef already had his LLC, and I was like, oh man, I want to talk to you or whatever. But we didn't get to. But now that he has more experience, and then now that Phoenix did it, I was like, oh man, this is perfect for an episode, because I'm sure there's a lot of other content creators out there that were on the fence or maybe about it. And maybe they didn't hear it from other people. Like, yeah, get one. Why not? If you want to take yourself a little bit more serious and maybe go down this route, it wouldn't hurt to have one, pretty much. Right?
And I know too, another misconception is I know Phoenix, about the EIN number that we get. It's like our our employee number for our business. It's basically like another social security number. What happens with some people I know, they, let's say you got shitty credit, they think if they get a business, a business is technically another human, basically, another line of credit, another social security. They're thinking like, oh, I get a fresh start, so I get to get all these loans and stuff. Well, businesses want leverage. Banks want leverage. They're not stupid. They're not going to just say, oh, you're a business, I don't know who you are, let me just give you this money.
Yeah, no, they're
going to
want
something.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to use your personal credit too. So that's just to get people to stay focused working on your credit. Because a lot of people feel like, oh, I can get a business and just get loans again. It's like, no, you still had to present something. And I know we talked about protecting ourselves. When you do get a loan from a business in the beginning, through your business, they're still using your personal credit with it. So legally,
they can still come at your ass.
You.
Yeah.
They can so you can't just get a $20,000 loan and say, I ain't paying this shit back. It's not even my business.
Peace.
They're gonna be like, okay, we're coming for your ass then.
Yeah.
Because you signed it. It's like a co-signer. You co-sign your business saying, I'm liable for this. So just want to put that out there. Don't just start grabbing loans.
Yeah, because I'm glad you said that, because in the beginning when you had said, and I had saw that video that somebody, I think it was a YouTube girl or a TikTok, how you said, she started talking trash about Cardi B. Cardi B's team went after that content creator who realized did not have an LLC. So she pretty much lost her house, a couple cars because of it, because it was for slander. If she would have separated herself from that, her business would have taken the hit and not her personal, all her personal stuff. And she was at a point in her career as a content creator. I don't know her name or what she does or whatever, but if you have thousands of people watching you on a daily basis, you should probably get an LLC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're substantially making some moves on certain platforms and you're making some or okay money, part-time money or whatever, what's $125 based on whatever your state, just in case, just in
Just in
case,
case. I'm gonna get my ass suit tonight.
right?
Let me get a LLC for you now, baby.
Yeah, because
Fuck.
I want to get one for my brand and whatever. Because I was like, all right, man. I was like, do I want it to be Jimmy Dukes Gaming, Jimmy Dukes Lab, whatever this or whatever, right? But I guess as long as you have that, just to start going forward with, and letting people know, like, hey, I am a content creator. I take myself seriously, and you can people amongst this world of different content creation can see like, hey, Black Phoenix got an LLC. He's making these types of moves because he's taking himself serious. Reef, I've already had it for a year, working on his clothing company. Now he's gonna do something else, and it's just a branch off because you're right. I've seen entrepreneurs and business owners. They have this, and then it leads to this, it leads to this, it leads to that, it leads to this, it leads to that. It's just kind of like a stepping stone to continue being a business owner and seeing what avenues you can make money in or want to get into. And it doesn't hurt by already establishing yourself as a business before making those types of moves because you make money to make money, right? You use that money to make more money. And you do this to do that and do this to that. So I like the fact that not a lot of people that I know, and I'm not saying that people aren't doing it, that talk about this openly, to educate other people and to say that it is an option for some of us, or maybe you never thought it was, but hey, if you see yourself wanting to push something and being so geared to it, how Reef was, he's like, man, I remember him when we talked about it last year, man. I really want to push this clothing thing, man. I feel like I could do this and I can do that, and he did it. He did it. You know what I mean? And then Phoenix over here, he has somebody, Black Lions, who's he's known. He'd be like, hey man, you should do this. You should do this. You need people like that around you to go back and forth with, to help each other.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, yeah, we're all big community. We're everybody help everybody. It's not really like that. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Everybody has a certain groups and you relate to certain people and you want to mingle with certain people, but being able to hear it from just us and just know it's a possibility and hearing these guys' experience is perfect to maybe spark that idea. That's it. Just to
I want
spark
to
that
give a shout
idea.
out to Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix, I want to give you a shout out. I want to give Black Lion Gamers a shout out and On the Go Grocery a shout out. This is a company ran by my wife's cousin Alexis because
Mhm.
Phoenix, you already know why for the meetup and the work we're about
Yeah.
to produce. But when
We'll talk
you,
about it in
when,
a second.
yeah, we're gonna talk.
We'll
But
talk about it.
I had to get certified by my state to get a it's called a historically utilization business certification, which
Hmm.
means if you're a minority, um, and we all know there's different versions of minorities, you can get basically contracts for the state first. Like
Oh,
most
cool.
state of North Carolina, before they hire, like they're not gonna hire like Walmart or some big company first. They want to start with, small business owners to do their services first. Like you get first dibs. But
Nice.
you had to be certified by the state. And the only way I was able to get that is I had to have at least two LLCs that I've worked with to write me a letter of reference saying like, yes, this is what goods I provided and whatnot. And I hit up Trav, Black Lion Gamers, and was like, "Hey, you're one of the vendors that I work with this year. Could you write me a letter of resignation?" He was like, "Yo, I've never
Sure.
done nothing like that, but I have an LLC and you taught me something. So now I'm gonna write it, how I'm supposed to write it for you." And I reached out to On the Go Grocery for the same thing because we made, shirts for both companies, and their letters got me a certification.
Boom.
So my email will be hit when I think the police department just messaged us like a week or two ago asking like they need some shirts or some polo shirts, something like that. And it's like we're on the bidding list for these things
That's
now. And it's
sick.
because you have to have business. That goes back to what Jimmy said about networking, about the people you know. Because if they weren't able to give me an opportunity to work with them, then I wasn't able to have the certification because I wouldn't have no proof that I worked with other businesses. They had to have proof like this is the transaction that we provided for them. So that's another good thing too, another benefit too of working with other businesses as well.
Damn. And you kind of hinted on it a little bit, and it kind of segues to the future plans of your guys' LLC. Like, what are some of your plans that is it? And I'm not. Maybe I'm like kind of getting it. Are you going to be using it kind of to what the whole meetup thing? It incorporates that you could use your LLC with it, Phoenix.
That is some of it as well. It's not too much heavy on the meetup part of it. For me personally, with my LLC, I'm just like I said before, it's a great protection. It's a great to like go back and see what you spend or whatever for your taxes and whatever like that. And it's just great to have. For the meetup, I guess if the meetup ever gets like super big, we definitely would have to have
A separate LLC, right?
for the
that.
meetup. Yeah. But that is our goal for the meetup, is like to have something like a big convention type deal. But it's slowly growing. Hopefully we'll get it there. But once we get it there, we're gonna have like a real LLC for it. We're gonna have like all these like businesses stuff and lawyers and whatever. But that's like further down.
No, but
Man, Finn is humble, bro.
Yeah,
He's
but
humble.
that's not. But
This man plans events, bro.
I know
he fucking can put together an event, man. I don't know why he said, yeah, you know,
downplaying the shit,
bro. He's humble. He can do that shit. He does. If you look at his streams, his shit is organized. He has calendars. He's very organized with shit. I can see him being some type of event planner for nerds, gamers, whatever. He can do this shit. So
I can definitely knock it out of the park. It's just getting the people to come there is a whole thing, and getting the money. I know we're not talking. This is not a meetup podcast.
But plug it, because it kind of leans into what some of the things. I mean, I'm gonna use my LLC and the benefits of stuff like that to be able to tax, to be able to go to events like that.
Oh yeah, and
you know,
but I was gonna say, like, we as we try to get bigger, right now it's more crowd funded type of event. Like it's mostly the head of the whole thing is Black Lion Gamers. He'll pretty much pay for the whole thing, and then after that, that's when we sell the tickets to like kind of like Reef, you're right. That is, to be honest, that is a tax write-off, because
of course,
when we first did the contract for that hotel last year,
I can't even imagine.
He was like, make sure it says Black Lion Gamers on there, because then he can use it as a tax
I'm sure it wasn't cheap to set that up. And by the way, y'all did a good job for my
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now, it's like between $4,000 to $5,000 to get that ballroom at that hotel for that time space. So Trav, Black Lion Gamers already pay for it, but we trying to get it crowdfunded.
Of course,
selling the tickets and stuff like that.
It's a business. It's a business. It's a business. Yes, exactly. It's a business. A lot of people people don't see that shit.
And then now, as we come, like, if the more we grow and get more people, we're trying to like look towards like sponsorships and stuff like that, to where we can get a bigger space, more equipment, get vendors and stuff like that. Right. Even though Reef will be at the meetup anyways, and he's going to be selling the meetup themed shirts, but I'm sure he'll probably bring, I don't know, other shirts that he probably. Do you make any other shirts? Like personally, do you have a?
Yeah, I've seen some of his catalog, some of the stuff he posts, man. Hey, let's go.
Well, that your brand stuff I know, but I meant like if because there's like going to other conventions, there's like other t-shirt people, whatever.
That's why I talked to you. When do we talk about this? I remember
the North Carolina meetup.
Yes, and then that shit been beaming in my head. That's why I'm going to DreamCon. Like, bro, you planted the seed, bro.
There you go.
When we had that conversation at the meetup, I was like, I never thought about it like that.
Have you been to a convention before? Like,
this is my first time going.
Okay, cool. All right, I guess you can use this as your first one too. Like, because when you get to the dealer's room, aka like the where they sell everything, all the vendors and artist alley and blah blah blah, where you pretty much people sell things and you go in there and buy it. You're gonna have people who like sell T-shirts or whatever like that. People like you, and they have like all these like cool things. I don't know, they'll have like something like Fortnite, but it's not just Fortnite. It doesn't have like the logo or whatever like that on there. It'll be like quotes or something like that, like, or where we dropping at boys or something like that, like cool like funny shirts or whatever like that, and they be selling that. And I was like, man, Reef can easily do this.
And that's what it's like pushing your brand. And that goes back to a lot of people forget that even though we're content creators, we're making business type of moves, to potentially make us, get us better up as far as financially, obviously would be great. if I could quit my job and do this full time and know that I can make X amount of money, I would do it.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm not that at that point, but eventually, with making an LLC and making types of moves and making relationships and pushing this podcast and doing this and doing that, I could hopefully get there within some a manageable time. But to see people that are already making those types of moves is badass.
I'll definitely say look into like sponsorships and
Yeah.
affiliations and stuff like
Mhm.
that,
Yeah, because
and see if you can get that extra money come in.
yeah, 'cause
Quit that job.
right? I love seeing people that I've met or just from afar. Like there's a lot of people that I know that I've been following from afar or know that are doing well, and I love seeing. I want everybody to eat, but
Mhm.
it gets to a point to where like we're not fixing people's plate. You know what I mean? I
There
want
you go.
everybody.
Yeah.
I want everybody to eat.
Oh my god, yeah.
I
You know,
like that one.
I
like
want
that one
everybody
right
to
there.
eat, but but I ain't trying to fix your plate. You know what I mean? If I'm not trying to help you fix your plate, then don't get mad at me. I want you to win, but you don't need me to win. Fix your own plate and win, and you go eat. You know what I mean?
People want you to fix the plate and feed them too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's
I
like
can help you get there, but you
Yeah.
gotta walk the mile.
Now
Yeah,
you the
do
damn
the
waiter
rest.
looking crazy. You sitting
Right?
there like, damn, I thought I was supposed to eat my food too. I'm over here waiting. Like, what the hell am I
Yeah.
doing
hey,
now, bro?
what you got over there?
Like, shit crazy.
No, man, and like I love the fact that we were able to sit down and have this conversation, and you guys are, even though Phoenix just got it 2 months ago, he's starting to see his opportunities and different ways he could take advantage of. Reef talked about what he first initially thought, and now being experienced for over the year, now he knows the different opportunities and being licensed and being approved by the state. That's crazy. Because when you first started it, that wasn't even on your radar, right?
It was not at all, bro. And it comes from conversations like talking to people, talking to your friends, bro. Like, I don't know why people sleep on that, but you don't have to gatekeep everything, man, because knowledge is infinite. Nothing under the sun is new. Just by having like transparent conversations, yo, can spark a lot of things, bro. And like, we don't all walk the same path, but
Mhm.
little conversation, little seed, like Phoenix planting that seed and stuff, bro. Like, it opened up other doors because now I start thinking about things differently. And then as I'm thinking about something, boom, I run into something else. Like, oh shit, I would have never sparked this if I didn't have this conversation versus this. You know what I'm saying? So just be. I mean, you got to gatekeep everything. I know
Yeah.
everybody want to make a webinar or fucking what's that shit called when you pay people to teach shit. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, but when you get to a certain level, you could. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
you can.
Yeah,
It's like
just-
people they get it. Oh, I'm gonna charge everybody for this. It's
Yeah.
like you haven't even.
Yeah, you haven't done shit with it, right?
Like,
You haven't done shit
yeah.
with it. You're over here
like,
trying
why
to
nobody
get.
paying me? Like
Right.
you have no accolades. Like you have nothing. You're just. Y'all got an LLC. I'm gonna start teaching everybody how to make LLCs. Like, what have you done with your LLC though, bro? You
Nothing.
just got it yesterday.
Right?
Like,
Same
That's
people
what-
can go on YouTube and look at that
Yeah.
single information.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
come on.
And that's cool because with the opportunity to claim stuff now. Like last year, I was like, I didn't know, but now this year, I'm buying like every new game that I see myself playing. I buy it knowing that I can write it off. So I'm more open to playing more video games because now I know like, hey, that $70 game, I'll be able to write it off at the end of the year. That
Yep.
that extra DLC, because with us, yeah, I think even Reef, like we play different games. We're not like Phoenix is probably the best example. Is that he plays different types of games and he lets people know ahead of time. So the fact that he knows that I could just keep buying different games because I'm a just a streamer that does just different types of
Mhm.
games, that he won't be held knowing that, damn, I can't buy that Harry Potter game because I don't want to spend $70. Oh shit, I have an LLC. It's for my business to put content out for using that. Boom, there you go. Over here with Reef, you know what? I don't like this shirt. Let me get a different type of shirt, order some of those and print it on there. This shirt is better. That was a business
I like
move.
the material.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think Reef made a post a while back. Hey, y'all, I haven't been streaming, but I've been doing XYZ. I bought these shirts. I've been doing techniques. Those are all hits that he's taking to better his brand. And he's
Yeah.
able to spend money knowing that this is for my business and it's going to make it better. So the fact that I knew last year that I could take that trip, this year I'm looking forward to take 2 trips. If I could take 2 trips now, like, all right, cool. The amount
Did
of
we
money.
talk about trips?
Did we talk
Can
about
we talk about trips right now? Or just a quick segment of
Yeah, go
trips
for it.
this year.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, no, Reef got to go first. Reef got to go first because
Right.
I see Reef made his post. He was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm about
Man,
to.
I'm gonna be
all
right.
over the place.
I'm gonna be writing my tax off for which trip.
hey, listen, I'll keep it on the same umbrella because the only reason why I'm able to get these shirts paid in the we all know when we book shirts, man, we gotta do that shit early or it gets really expensive. And the benefit of the LLC was since I started establishing revenue with the company and building a brand with my bank, they were able to give me like a business credit card, so it makes it easier to keep track of all that shit. Because I know what Jimmy said earlier about being an individual. You can still do this, but it makes it just a little bit easier to have the bank accounts separated. Because then you'll be doing this shit. Okay, I ate at McDonald's the other day. Was that a business meeting? No. Okay, let me. Was it this? So it's like when you use that card, when you pull out that card,
The
yeah, this is
expenses are there.
like a P card. Like this is for that. So
that,
whenever I do trips and stuff, every trip, by the way, is for business. I'm looking at this card like, nah, I'm gonna use this card instead. I'm gonna use this card instead because I already know what I'm gonna get on the back end with it. And I was able to get a card that doesn't have essentially a limit. So it's like that card, man. I hate that card, bro. I really hate that card. But it's like you use it. You use it and you get points and shit for like travel and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's built around that shit. So you're able to just boom, 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 and you pay when you pay. So it's not like you got unlimited amount of money, but it helps to get that. You're gonna get money from your business anyway. Make those payments on the card and stuff like that to build it down. Even though that, let's say by the end of the year you still owe like 4 G's on that. It's not looking at what you're paying, it's looking at what you spent. So that spent is a loss towards your business as a whole, and you can still subtract that. So if you put 8 grand on that card and you only paid off maybe like 6 before taxes came up, you're still getting hit with that 8 grand. Like you lost $8,000. That's how they're gonna look at it. Oh, you lost $8,000. So that helps out a lot with planning trips and stuff like that. That's why it's not reckless. It's just more conscious of knowing like, oh, this is a benefit. Like I get to do this stuff a little earlier instead of waiting until when I actually got to hustle, get the money up and stuff like that. That's why it still revolves back around credit. Get your credit up, focus on the credit, and it will open up many doors for you. But yeah, a lot of trips this year. At least 3. A cruise.
I'm about to say, where you going?
I'm going to the Bahamas. My first cruise. I've never been on a cruise before.
Hey.
So wish me luck. I'm not from a cruise era. Meet up and DreamCon is probably gonna be the toughest shit ever because they're literally back to back.
I know. I saw that.
It's not tough like with expenses. It's tough with my body. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have all that. So I'm gonna be a little reserved. Like, all right, bro. Let me save my energy.
This is a business trip. I need sleep. I need to concentrate. I need to make sure I'm good to go and shit.
Facts, man. So it's gonna be tough, man. But
I was gonna say same thing. All what Reef said about all that stuff you can write off and stuff like that. One thing I would say first before I take my trips, I feel like me and Reef are like best friends in different universes or something like that or whatever. He does stuff before me, and we don't even talk about it, bro.
Yeah.
Like the LLC,
That's the reason we're together, though.
He did it before me. I didn't even know he was doing that. I recently saw like Rief made like a video about your stream room or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And as I'm like got done uploading my stuff on YouTube, I look over, I was like, ain't no way. Like, I literally just post my stream room on YouTube. And I'm like, how? And then now you're saying like you're going on the cruise. I'm fucking going on the cruise.
Yo, let's get the fuck
in
out of here,
November.
man.
Let's go.
Like, ain't no way. Like,
Yo, stop, man.
and then you're going to the Bahamas. I'm going to the Bahamas.
All right. My brother from a different mother. Shit.
I'm just saying, like everything Reef does is like he do it before me, but we don't even talk about it. It's not like I'm copying him.
Yeah.
I don't even know he's doing this shit.
Yeah.
And then after I've established what I was doing, I look over. I'm like, damn, he's doing that too.
Yeah.
Or he about to do it.
It's crazy how like we have a lot of things in common, all of us in different aspects. Because I know that one thing that I could speak for with Reef is we're both family men, and he had kids when I first met him. So I was like, oh shit, a guy trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do, but has a full-time job and blah, blah, blah. And then I meet Phoenix. He's already doing events and things before like the whole streaming. And he was inspired by another person to start streaming. but he was already in the gaming space and making events and doing like that. And little by little, you start noticing you have things in common with certain types of people. And that's why for me, I always try to be neutral with everybody I meet. You know, I know a lot of people might not get along or not might see eye to eye with other people, but for me, I always try to just be neutral and be fluid with everybody because for me, I'm trying to learn from everybody. You know what I mean? When somebody's talking that's been doing something, I shut up and listen. You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's how you learn, especially if you don't know anything in that space. So I just love hearing the fact that you guys were bringing up, I thought of this, then did this. I did it just because of this, and now I can do this. You know, I just that like fuck yeah, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I love hearing that shit. These guys are doing this. Let me take that plate. No, I'm just playing. But but yeah, man, it just like it's how Reef was saying, the holding of the knowledge for some people is that because they don't want other people to win. Everybody wants you to win unless you're not beating them. You know, let's be honest. It's like, oh, I want you to win, just not better than me. You know, just not better than me. But I've gotten to the point, and I'm not trying to say that I'm up here or whatever. I've gotten to the point to where I only share information with certain people that I know will listen. I've gotten tired of trying to educate or inspire certain people that don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I'm wasting my breath. You know, it's like when you guys do this, do that, and they're like, oh yeah, and then they do the opposite. It's like, okay, why am I wasting my time? You know what I mean? Like you start, and I've gotten to where like, oh, Jimmy thinks he's doing all this because he does this and he doesn't want to talk. No, it's just like we're on different levels. My level's this way, my path is this way. I can respect you and support you from afar, but I can't be doing this, I can't be doing that or whatever. And for you guys too, Reef's taking, hey man, I got to take a step back because I got to work on my business. Oh, Reef is quitting and doing all this, you know, whatever. Oh, Phoenix, all he does is play all these different games and doesn't give a fuck. Everybody has a different way of going about business. And that's the fact that I love the fact that I'm starting to know you guys more and more, that I can ask you guys these kind of questions. Like, not everybody has a cheat code and reach out to somebody that done something and be like, hey, Phoenix, I saw you have an LLC. You want to have a, hell yeah, man, I want to sit down and talk about it. Badass. Reef, you've been doing this, blah, blah, blah. Hell yeah. So we're becoming like a source of knowledge for people because, yeah, we want to educate people and let people know what we want, but we can't hold your hand through everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people feel like, hey, Jimmy, you've been doing this and this. Like, help me do this, help me do that. Like, hey, dude, like, I had to learn just how you had to learn. Well,
oh my God.
Well, you know, so and so, hit me up. Let them know what's up. Like, you know how many times are people like, hey, you know, so and so, you should reach out to them. I'm like, I wish I kind of know them, but I just don't know them because I'm honest with myself. Like, the way I come across, I want people to hear about me or know about me, or somebody speak good of me and be like, hey, somebody said this of this, and I came to check you out. Hey, dope. You know what I mean? I saw Reef making shirts. I ordered shirts. You know how many content creators I've reached out to Reef to make shirts already? You know what I mean? For Black Phoenix or for Phoenix over here, hey, I've done events before. Let me help you out with this event. You know what I mean? And make it better. You know, that's what it is in networking with the right type of people who appreciate your guys' time. You know, 'cause I'm tired of trying to help people out who don't care. You know, I just you think you care and you think you care until like you meet people who are really doing it. You know, and I feel like in our respective ways, we're all doing it in our own ways, man. So
It's like you can do. I feel like you can do it with your platform because this is what you do, but you don't have to overexert yourself like how you would. You can just put it out there because I learned with some people, man, like they don't. Some shit just don't hit until something happens in their life personally. Like they just won't. They can hear it, you say it verbatim, like, yeah, Jimmy said this, Jimmy said that, and it gotta fall in their face. And then you just keep walking. Jimmy's gone already. And then they'll stand up like, yo, Jimmy was right. And then that's when they'll come to you, Jimmy, bro, all that shit you said, like, you were right. I was stuck on my fucking hamster wheel running around in circles, yo, and I was not paying attention. Now I'm like,
yeah.
And I've had people come to me like that. Like, they would just, eventually, you just be like, oh my God, I'm tired of talking to you. Like, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually something will happen, whether it be good or bad, but they'll just be like, it's always plugged like a seed. Like, it's still there. Like, Jimmy, you mark people with your podcast because they listen, they hear it, they might not apply some of this shit, but it's in the back of their subconscious. And then something will happen. It's like, damn, Jimmy said that. No, damn, Jimmy was right. And they might not never tell you ever. They might not never give you your flowers, bro. But it's there though. Like, it's there in their subconscious. That's the beauty of having a platform. Like, because you can always do it, and it doesn't feel like you're like calling your friend, like, bro, you need to get your shit together. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like that. Like, you're able to just be natural in your own element, still drop gems, and then got to worry about that stress, that overexertness.
Yeah.
Shit. But
Mhm.
that's the beauty of your art.
Yeah, man. I love that, and I appreciate that because I'm trying to get to the space to where that I could have conversations with different people when it comes to content creation, and eventually not, now I'm expanding a little bit more to entrepreneurship and business, and having these conversations. Like, I hopefully the next time I speak to somebody else, I can speak to somebody who's well more established, and they could talk about a 5-year plan of the ups and downs of having an LLC, and it's not all rainbows and butterflies on the other end, or somebody who just like, oh man, the LLC, I did it, now I'm in debt and I can't do shit with it. So, like, if anybody else has those kind of experiences who want to reach out and talk about that to educate us, that's why I want to be like a small little beacon to where I can bring people on here to speak about their journeys and their experiences to educate people. That's my goal of this platform, of my podcast. It's not about me. It's about me being able to have people come on and talk about different things. I'm fortunate to be a likable person, and I take advantage of it. I swear to God, I tell people all the time, like, how could you not like the little small guy? You know what I mean? Like, I'm the small funny guy. I tend to like everybody like me. I try and I hardly have any enemies. If I do, I don't know of them because they're not on my radar, because I just try to keep it positive. But I appreciate you guys coming on here. And again, and within a couple months, or maybe at the end of the year, after we have a whole year of stuff that you guys gone through, we could have another recap and be like, hey, 2023, I was able to do XYZ. These are the pros and cons. Do this if you're going to do that. And then, take these badass trips and put it on your unlimited card.
Swipe. Oh, disclaimer with that. It is unlimited. It is, but it's not. But you'll have to figure that out when you.
Yeah.
Because eventually you got to make a phone call like, hey, can I spend this? And I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah. You already owe 20K. What are you doing?
They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, so what if I spend this? Yeah. So it doesn't have a limit, but it does. It's not a traditional card. It has attachments to it. So you have to
be smart.
Yeah, you gotta be smart with it. Don't just, oh shit, I'm gonna go buy that Maybach. No, it ain't gonna work like that, because it's still going based off your credit. At the end of the day, it's still revolving around. It's just you get a little bit more leadway. That's basically it.
Yeah. So real quick before we get out of here, just like in your guys' personal experience with the whole filing process, are you guys both in different states that you guys did it, or are you guys both in the same state?
Different state.
Okay, so Phoenix, in your experience, what state did you file it in? How was the process, to kind of give somebody an idea?
My state is South Carolina. Mine's was pretty simple. Like, I literally just go on Google, look for companies that's doing LLCs or whatever like that. I forgot what I want to say. It's Zen Business or whatever. I can't remember which one it is. But I want to say it's that one. They give you a layout of what you want to do, of what you need for your LLCs and stuff like that. Different states have different things that you need for certain stuff for your LLC. But you pay, like, for the one I went with, you just pay for your state fees first, whatever like that, and then later on you pay for like your EIN number, and like all your other documents and stuff like that and whatever. And it was pretty simple and fast, whatever like that. So, and like, they give you all your information, you just pay for whatever. It will take like a good couple of days or whatever for stuff to process or whatever like that. But then after that, it's simple. If I would have to guess, if you do it now, maybe within next week or 2 weeks after that, the whole process would be done after that.
Damn.
And then it's like every year it's like a $200 fee thing, whatever, when you have to like keep doing the thing.
Like a renewal.
I don't know. You got to talk to Reef. I forgot what it is. It's like, I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, see, that was for your state. So what about for your state?
I had to go to the Secretary of State website. You have to go in there. It's basically plug in information. Like, if you would sign up for any other thing, to make it like, like if you're playing a video game, you know how you got to sign up for EA or whatever. It's stuff like that. You got to plug in all the information. You can do it. You don't have to pay nobody to do it. It's easy to do. I've done it for somebody else as well, one of my relatives. But you go in, you plug in information, you kind of ask you questions like, "What is your business about?" Stuff like that. You put your name, check to see if that name is registered with the state, and then you just get a packet. It's all digital. You send that to the company, like Phoenix said, take about a week. They'll send you back, and then once you get that stamp saying, yeah, you're approved, then you have to get your EIN. We didn't have to pay for our EIN here, though, EIN here, but
Mhm.
you get your EIN, and then you take that EIN, then you can go to the bank or whatever. This is a step I did. Went immediately to the bank, and that's the first question they're going to ask you. Do you have your EIN number? Because that's the social security number they're going to need to open up that
Mhm.
account
Mm.
for your
Yep.
LLC. So you can't just walk up there and say, I have a business, I want to open an account. They're going to be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, what's your EIN? What
Yeah.
is that?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you know what
You
I'm saying?
definitely,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
you
you,
definitely need that for a business
Yeah.
account.
And that's I'm
yeah,
glad that you guys have both say that, because I'm gonna look into doing it. And now the fact that you guys have both said, hey, you do it this way, it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward. Once you get that EIN number, then I can get a card, and then I could separate my
yeah,
expenses when it comes to that. So when it comes to the tax time, it's easier to do it, because what I did for me is last year I had a Best Buy card, and anything that
Mhm.
I needed to get for this, I would use a Best
Mhm.
Buy card or get it through Best Buy. So this way on my banks or the monthly statement, I had it all there. So just in
yep,
case if they ever needed it, I had all the PDF files and I have it saved. So if I ever got audited or whatever, I have it there and I use the same card. But knowing that what I learned today from you guys is that I'm gonna get a separate card with the business account, and it'll be just for that, and it'll be completely separate. And it'll be
Yeah.
easier for tax purposes and also for my business expenses. So it just this card is just for
Mhm.
that. Boom, that's it. So
yeah.
hell yeah.
The money don't get jumbled up together.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Fuck yeah, man. So thank you guys so much again, man, for coming on, man. I think I don't know whoever's listening or watching, I learned quite a bit, and I feel more confident, moving toward this stepping stone, and these guys giving us the opportunity to listen and talk about their journey as far as what they had to do and what they're going to be using it for. So thank you guys so much, man.
Hey, no problem.
No
Hey, man.
problem, man.
For sure, man. Real quick before we get out of here, Phoenix, plug yourself, man. Let everybody know what you got going on your different platforms, upcoming events for your channel, meetups. Let everybody know what's going on, man.
Black Phoenix 843. I got pretty much a lot of stuff coming up very soon. For streaming wise, we got season 3 about to come to a close over on the streaming side. So at the end of March, that'll be season 3. I take a small little break, maybe like a week and a half or so, something like that. I'm getting everything, gathered up for season 4 to come through. We're gonna have this like big event and stuff like that. And then before that happens, though, we do for March, we do have a good couple of events coming up. We got another Fortnite Friday coming up. We got the supporter week. We did it last week. We did it last year, where we were trying to push to get the that supporter button on Facebook. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but that's when like
We
a
all got
couple
it.
of days later, that's when everybody got it, and I'm like, a win's a win.
Yeah.
A win's a win.
I
We
mean,
actually
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Facebook, for the fact. But yeah, man.
So well, for this year, it's going to be a lot of people. If you're a subscriber on my page, there's going to be tons of giveaways, a lot of other stuff. We're going to be some of the streams are going to be like subscriber only chats and stuff like that. So it's more for the community than anything for supporter week coming down. And then at the end of that week, the end of season 3 on that Friday, we got the 2023 Phoenix Force Awards, where you guys can go and vote. If you want to look for the link for that, go to my page. It's there somewhere on there. We got Jimmy Dukes, who's nominated for Best Streamer Game Room.
I'll take it.
We got my boy Reef, voted for Best, I believe, GTA RP Streamer. I think no, either that or Warzone. I believe it's Warzone. I can't remember. It's one of those two. It's one of those two: GTA RP Streamer or Warzone. You guys can go vote for these guys for that way. And then we got the meetup coming up soon in July, where you guys can come through, meet all the streamers. If you missed out last year, you don't want to miss out this year because there's going to be so much stuff going on. And for my trips, we literally this month we're going to Boston for PAX East. In June, I got to go to CEO and Daytona. I go to CEO like pretty much every year. That's where they had the like one of the biggest fighting game tournaments there in Daytona. We got the meetup in July, and then right after the meetup, I just got my ticket for DreamCon.
Hey.
So we're going to DreamCon. So
Let's
we gonna
go.
be at DreamCon together.
That's dope.
And then I'm gonna give you an exclusive
Oh shit.
Snickle Fritz, exclusive Snickle Fritz right here.
Let's
on
go.
the Jimmy Dukes podcast right here. Little sneak peek preview. So it should be in the works. We're getting stuff, making sure who's all coming real quick before we announce it. But I'm gonna let you guys know a little secret right now. We're going to, and Rief, you're gonna have to be there too. So you're gonna have to swipe it. So coming in October, the plan is to go to Las Vegas for TwitchCon.
Boom.
For another mini meetup.
Nice.
In October,
Okay. I think I
the
can do that.
third weekend of that month, like the weekend before Halloween or whatever. So
that's
October,
doable.
Las Vegas.
That'll probably be my second trip then, maybe. Hey.
Las Vegas, October,
Las Vegas.
TwitchCon.
No,
and that's where you can meet more content creators throughout, not just at the meetup, just everywhere.
Mhm.
It's TwitchCon.
Yeah.
I've never been. I want to go out and explore and grow. So that is your Snickle Fritz right here.
Hey, let's go.
It hasn't even been announced or really talked about.
Yeah, but
anywhere else.
so when this comes out, it'll be solidified and shit like that. Dope, man.
Yeah.
And Reef, I mean, let us know what's going on with your business. What type of things that you're working on. I know that we spoke briefly before we started recording, man, that you're expanding than just working on the gaming and the content creation stuff, and talk about your business and all the stuff and where everybody can find you.
I just want to say before I get into that, can you see that we don't have to do none of this shit, but we're doing it. Like we don't have to go to none of these places. We don't have to fly to all these places, but we're doing it. That shows you the passion behind, what we're trying to do. Like it's beyond just sitting down gaming. Like motherfuckers is moving, and I love to see that. I do like to see that. For me, mostly, like I said, it's been really hard at pushing in my business and my brand. Another big thing with all this, I know we've been talking a lot about business, is family too. Like sometimes I speak for myself, I get caught up in all this shit and I will neglect certain things. I'm trying to be a better father and shit like that. And I see I get little instances where I'm like, oh shit, I didn't catch that. And I know what my end game in this is. I know I do all this shit because I want what's best for my family.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to secure something for them, but I do see myself sometimes getting just lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
So what I've started doing is not necessarily incorporate my family into all of my shit, but I lean more towards them with things so that I'm still getting that time in with them and stuff like that. Because all the money in the world can never buy that. Like that love and that affection we have for them, like it won't. Like, and then I've seen too many instances of people who've been grinding and on the go, and then you just look back and you're like, fuck, bro. I didn't even know you didn't know how to ride a bike. You know what I'm saying? It's just like shit like that happens. And like as I was a kid seeing it, I was like, dang, like when I watch movies and shit like that, I'm like, dang, like how could you ignore that?
Yeah.
But then when you start seeing yourself like that, I'm like,
damn,
oh,
you're so
shit, bro, I
busy,
really need
so
to look in
caught
the
up in
mirror, bro.
everything.
Like you gotta look in the mirror sometimes and realize like you are that. And that's me. Big thing while I've stepped back from this streaming part of it is I love video games. Like this is my passion. This is something I've been on since I was a kid. I still create content. I just haven't uploaded nothing as of yet because I know once I start, I know how I get. Like I get really tunnel vision and shit, and I'm figuring out a way to balance it. So for the business part, I've been expanding. I've been out in the streets more. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, like less digital, more of in person, and I've been building relationships with that. I've even seen me taking my aggression, my aggression into the streets where I will walk up on people who have LLCs, because now there's a misconception too. You don't have to have LLC on your business truck or anything. You can just have Jimmy Dukes. It doesn't have that say Jimmy Dukes LLC.
Mhm.
But I'm thankful that people do that, because when I see vans driving by and they have LLC, I see guys doing like construction work and shit like that. I literally walk up to them. I'm like, "Hey, bro, what's your business name?" And they're like, "Oh, it's such and such." I'm like, "How am I posting on that, bro? Where your shirts at, man? Where your hoodies? Why are you not rocking anything, representing your brand?" And he was like,
Smart.
"Oh, I never thought about that." And I was like, "Yeah,
Smart.
man, so saying I'm just in people's face with it. You know what I'm saying?" So
Mhm.
it's like, and this guy, he said to me like 3 days ago, he was like, "Bro, I appreciate the in-person like talk."
Yeah.
And because we don't see a lot of that. And it was
Mhm.
like, yeah, he said, "I'm definitely gonna be purchasing from you, but I just moved from New Jersey. I'm kind of getting my feet wet and stuff like that." And it makes me feel better to have like people know who I am. So when I do get back into the digital realm a lot more, I know I have more influence because people know me.
Yeah.
Like they see my presence. And that's
Well,
the same thing when we at the meetup. Like we treat each other differently since we've met each other in
yeah.
person. And that shit applies to a lot of things in life. Like it's one thing we all knew each other just over the internet, but when we actually seen each other and we actually felt our intention, looked at each other's eyes and shit, like you kind of feel more like that person. So
Yeah.
when you come into the stream or when we see, it's a different vibe. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's my guy right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because this man, you dap them up and shit. And I've seen Phoenix twice since, no, 3 times actually. No, yeah, it's been twice. It's been
Oh,
twice.
yeah.
I'm counting two
Meet up.
meetups. I'm counting two
Okay.
meetups.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
I think that's right.
yeah, and multiple days too, because when they came to Charlotte, we had the
Gotcha.
Carowinds joint. We went to Carowinds together, seen Phoenix on the rides and shit. So I've seen him in different elements
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
besides streaming. So it's like, yo, I kind of feel like I know this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I've been focusing more on that, and even did an interview with the gaming company here in my city, which I'm gonna put on YouTube. As far as
Hey.
YouTube, I'm gonna do more go into businesses like that and just doing interviews with them to encourage more people to start their own business, and what are the ins or outs and the real deal about it.
That's badass.
Also gonna be doing a lot of reactions on a lot of things we don't want to talk about and shit. I'll have that also there. I've already created a separate YouTube channel, just strictly just reaction videos, because I see that reaction videos is kind of a niche, but it's like
Mhm.
I see why people like it, because
Yeah.
it's like you're getting a different perspective. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see what you think about that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's really what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Besides the skits and stuff, that's always gonna be a part of me because I'm
I
humorous and
love
stuff.
that shit.
I love skits, bro. But that's what I'm doing now. Just business, focusing on my family. I'm juggling a lot of shit in this household. And the more I get it balanced, the more I feel like, yo, I can do this shit,
Yeah.
bro. And then the more I just feel calmer, because some days I'll just won't want to do shit. And I appreciate them days too, because we need those days. We need those days when we're just like, and fuck all this shit, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay down, I'm chill. We as men, we need that because we
Yeah.
do a lot, bro. We gotta hold in our
Yeah.
emotions, and
Yeah. That
it's
grind,
so much
grind,
shit as
grind
men
can only go so much. I tell people all
and
the time,
fathers.
yeah, yeah,
And
like
we're
that
Oh
fathers too.
yeah.
that
Like,
go shit all the time. It's tough. So I like that you guys are both, dads and shit like that, and have kids at different ages. So the fact that you guys are still being able to hold your jobs or still be father figures, still push this, still be positive lights in your guys' community is why I gravitate toward people like you guys, and I appreciate you guys, man. You'll be able to find all their links below, guys. Like they do so much other things, and they're so entertaining in streams and on their content. One thing I did learn about last year is that you guys do not have to catch us live to support what we got going on. You know what
don't
I mean? We got TikToks, we got Instagrams, we drop videos. I know these guys,
meetups.
there's different ways to support content creators out there, guys. Don't think that just streaming is the only way to support people got going on, man. So thank you guys once again for coming on, man. And this is just the start of our season here for the Jimmy Dukes Gaming Podcast, season 2, man. We got a lot more coming down the road. We got more content creators they're going to be interviewing, and I've been fortunate enough to meet these other people, to meet other people, to want to sit down and have a conversation with my little ass. So I'm looking forward to putting out some more material for you guys. You can find all of our podcasts on YouTube as well, all the videos, and on iTunes and Spotify as well, man. If you guys follow those on there, I greatly appreciate it, man. So for myself, Mr. Black Phoenix over here, and the Reef, we appreciate you guys coming by. Thank you guys so much. Until next time,
Peace, man.
Peace out, homies, man. Check all the socials below, guys. Love you guys, man. Thanks for your guys'
Love.
time. Peace out, homies.